Well, I think it's Saturday. It's kind of easy to lose place of your days of the week out here, but we are out and walking. We just left Russell Field Shelter. Slept well there last night with about 20 other folks. I didn't hear anybody snore. Hope nobody heard me snore either, but pretty sure I snored. But I think we both slept fairly well. We're going to do about 9 miles today to Derrick Shelter. And one of the highlights of the trip is Rocky Top. We'll be going over Rocky Top today, so we'll have to be sure and sing the song. I don't know whether Gavin knows that one or not, but we'll Google it and get him some lyrics. And maybe take a little video of our horrible singing as we get up there. So I appreciate all the friends and folks that have been following along and that have been real helpful. Messaged a friend from church last night asking some medical questions, and she was able to help me out with that, and I appreciate that. I still wonder about my speed going up hills, but somebody told me yesterday it's going to take about 300 miles to get your trail legs, and we're not quite there yet. We're about 180-ish, I think. I didn't even look at the book this morning to see, but it's just really frustrating to have to heel toe it going up hills. And we have had plenty of uphills in the last couple of days, and tomorrow we'll be going up Klingman's Dome, which is the highest point on the Appalachian Trail at over 6,000 feet. So I guess we'll be doing some uphills tomorrow as well. So I guess it'll be a slow day, but it's not a very long day. So if we can make our 9 today, I think we've got 6 tomorrow, and then maybe 10 miles downhill off of Klingman's into Newfound Gap, and we'll get into Gatlinburg for a day or so, I guess. See how things go. Really pleasant walk, as you can tell here today, down through a little rhododendron tunnel. And those are just always really cool. The sun's glinting through. We've got good weather. I think it's supposed to be near 60 today. Eventually, it's not there yet. And it most certainly was not there at 8 o'clock this morning when I bounded out of my sleeping bag. It was cold. Changing out of my sleeping clothes and into my hiking clothes. I usually do that in my sleeping bag so that I don't have the shock of being suddenly so cold. And I needed to get on out of my sleeping bag this morning and walk a few hundred feet outside of the campsite for a real quick trip. Maybe that's too much information, but I didn't get changed in my sleeping bag, and by the time I got back to it, it was already cold again. So I just made breakfast and changed after everybody got gone. And it was all good. I'm warm again. I'm moving, so it'll be a great day, I hope. We're looking forward to it. Thanks for checking in, and we'll see you in a bit. I'm out of the campsite, slide up hills, but not too bad. I wanted to show you this ridge. Back over here is Chioa Bald. We were over there a few days ago, and Waya Bald is over that way as well, I think, according to Peak Finder. And still didn't get a name on this one yet, but I bet we'll be on top of it soon enough. So I thought I'd show you a little bit about what we're seeing this morning. Well, we were promised some wonderful views this morning by some southbounders that we stayed with last night. And they were exactly right. We do have some wonderful views this morning. It's good to be in the Smokies, and I'm glad we've got wonderful weather for hiking. It's supposed to be up in the 60s today, but it's not there yet. And our trail so far has been a fairly gentle uphill. Hopefully that will continue, or maybe it will flatten down or go downhill. But we've had a pretty good hike so far today. I think we have peaked out on the uphill for now, and it looks like we're starting a slow, steady downhill. So if that's pretty much what we've been dealing with on the uphill, this will be a pretty nice, easy walk too. At some point, we're going to get stunned and we're going to get a serious uphill, because I know that we've wound up on top of Rocky Top today. But I think that's maybe after lunch. We'll see what happens. Good walk today, though. It's been very pleasant. I've not been taxed too much, even though it's been uphill most of the morning. And Gavin is keeping up and doing a bang-up job. So we're puttering on down the trail, beginning a little bit of a downhill now. We'll talk to you soon. What a difference a day makes. We started out going uphill yesterday, and we started going uphill today. And it's just, today has been such an easier hike. I guess the grade was different. But this has been a day that we just really kind of, both of us, plowed right along and moved swiftly. And it's been a great day of hiking. Yesterday was just, I was just so tired and I just wasn't into it. And I guess that's the day, the way of daily life. Some days you wake up and you're killing it and you're on top of everything. Some days it just doesn't go that way and you just do the best you can anyway. And that's kind of where we are yesterday, but we're really moving today. I'm paused here waiting on a flat spot here. Gavin's catching up to me here shortly. And we're still making our way to the first shelter, which was about 3 miles out. I'm hopeful we can make a 2-mile-an-hour pace to it. We'll see what happens. I think we're on a good pace to make it there at that time. So that'd be an hour and a half to make that 3 miles, and we can live with that for right now. We'll get stronger and faster as we go up the trail. I'm gonna sign off and move on down the road. Evan tells me that our shelter that we're stopping for lunch at is not very far up, less than half a mile. Way less than that now, probably right around the bend. But I wasn't expecting to see this. It's kind of cool. We've reached our little turn here to the shelter where we were going to have our lunch. Spence Field says it's 0.2 to my left, but it'd be to the trail right. So we're going to go over here and sit down and have a little bit of lunch, and we'll be back on the trail shortly. So this is our trail out to the shelter. So you may be interested to know what a trail lunch looks like. This is mine, and this has been pretty much a constant for most of our trip. One of the things that we're trying to be conscious of while we're out here is to eat enough calories to sustain all the exercise and the walking that we're doing. And that comes in the form of sugar and also some fats. And protein is also important as well. So the main staples for me have been, I've been eating a lot of cheese. You can get the individually wrapped up cheese, and it's gonna hold, even in the summertime, it'll get a little sweaty, but it won't rot. And also Slim Jims up there, or maybe a Spam patty or something to that effect. Some sort of a meat. Summer sausage works well. I haven't found a summer sausage that I like the taste of because they don't have Hickory Farms out here very well. But those are the two big things. And then almonds have got a lot of protein in those. They're pretty good for you. They've got some fats in there that are good fats for you, as I understand it. And then some sweets just to keep me going. I got some of these gummy Lifesavers. They're okay. They're not my favorite. I like raisins. Raisins are really good. I've been eating raisins for quite a while. Those are peanut M&Ms. The chocolate and the peanuts together give you some good energy. And I also bought a bag of cowtails, individually wrapped cowtails at our last stop, and I have really enjoyed those. I've always liked cowtails, and I had even thought about that as a trail food, but it works really well. So those are my typical lunch foods, and for suppers, I'll try to show you that tonight. It's been mostly rice and pasta with some sort of, pretty much Spam for me because I don't eat tuna. And the chicken supply has been very limited along the way. You can get bagged chicken, and we'll get some more as we go along. And we have a freeze-dried meal to eat tomorrow night. That's the lightest thing in our pack, and Gavin's eagerly awaiting to eat that because that'll actually have more flavor and spices than just our regular rice sides in it. But it's also the lightest food item in the bag as well. So we're gonna eat the heavier stuff first so we don't have to carry it. So anyway, I thought I'd show you what lunch looks like. We are at, I believe this is Spence Shelter, and we're not staying tonight, but I'll give you a real quick look around. I don't think I videoed coming in today. All these shelters in the Smokies, I think, are gonna look very much the same. They've got a covered porch area that you can cook and eat in the dry. There's also some cover right there, another little shelf to eat under. And then it's gonna get really dark here for a second, but I'm gonna pop inside and I'll show you what it looks like on the inside. I don't know that I took a really good video last night of the shelter we were in, but these are really cool because they have a fireplace inside. It's nice. Several folks got a fire going last night. There's room for, I think that it's listed at 14 people or so. You can get 7 or 8 or 10 on the top up there, and then another 7 or 8 or 10 on the bottom, as long as you're good friends. And I like the idea of up here they have the translucent roof so that there's still some daylight going, and even though the front of it has been covered up, thankfully, it has been covered up with a tarp right there. That's really handy because it gets terrifically windy out here. And one of the things I noticed last night, through the night, was the tarp was blowing and bashing in the wind, and that would have been all on top of us had we not had the tarp. So that's what we're looking at so far as staying for the next several days. And they're pretty comfortable accommodations. Even if you get a bunch of folks in there, there's plenty of room out front and out and around that folks can be out and move around, and it works really well. Well, we're leaving the shelter now, headed a little bit uphill back to the trail, but I did want to stop and look at this right here. This mountain right over here, that's where we're headed. I think that's the one. Yeah, there it is. That one is the subject of a famous song. That is Rocky Top. And back over here is Thunderhead Mountain. I think we're going to be traversing both of those before our day is done. So we're going to get on about it. That's where we're headed. We'll talk to you soon. So we're not far out of the shelter that we just stopped for lunch. And the trail spit us out here on this bald. Really beautiful. Really nice. I'm going to step off the trail and let you see what we see. I wish that Peak Finder would take a video. It's an app. It's about $5, but it's really cool because what it does is it lets you focus on something like this mountain right here, which I'm betting is Rocky Top, and it will tell you the names of the mountains. You can download data before you go out on the trail, and it's a really nifty app for figuring out where you are, where you've been, that sort of thing. And that's actually one of the comments that we had early on was, could you point out some of the mountains that you've been over and some of the ones that you're going to go over? Well, I wouldn't bet my house on it, but I'd be pretty darn sure that's Rocky Top, Tennessee. And we're gonna be going over that today. And I think these over to the left over here as well. And I honestly don't remember the names of those. I'll have to look it up. But that's what we're seeing right now, and it's absolutely gorgeous. A little bit of mountain laurel growing low over here. Some rhododendron in the back. These are wonderful views. Wow, 100 feet later, and this is our view. And I'm gonna keep walking because I think we've got a really nice bald right up here. See what we see up here. I just happened to look ahead, and I think we're gonna have a nice view through these rhodos right here. Oh yeah, I can see it coming, can you? Wow, this is awesome. Nice little bald up here. Here's that same view. Isn't that nice? You can see the lake down there. That's why we're doing this, is to get those views. Peaks of interest today, and I don't know if you can tell it or not. I'll try to hold the camera really still. There are people up there on top of Rocky Top. I can see them. I don't know that they can see me. They're probably not waving, but that's pretty doggone impressive. So that's where we're headed from here, is up on Rocky Top. This has just been such an interesting trip today. Through Roto, through forest, up and down. Now we're across this little bald here. Grassy area, little trees growing. And I think we are about to begin our ascent of Rocky Top. So we're looking forward to being up there and looking down. May have to sing a song when I get there. Well, this is not the top of Rocky Top. Holy cow. Holy cow, that's the only thing I can say. Holy cow. This is what we're looking at. And this is truly and absolutely phenomenal. Look at the snow over there. I don't know if you can see the snow on that one there where it came through a few nights ago. But this is absolutely phenomenal. And right down in there is the valley. You can see the lake. And I'm assuming that we came off of this over here maybe. That may be where we saw her, or I see the trail right over there. I think I see the trail coming through off that little bald area there. So that's where we've been today. And we have not very far yet to go. I've been promised by some fellas coming down the top. This is absolutely breathtaking, gorgeous. Let's point it uphill and see what else we got to see. Oh, there's Gavin peeking in, and there's Gavin peeking out. We got to go up a little ways, and I understand now why it's called Rocky Top, because it's been a hard road up here, but we're almost there. We're going to get to the top and we'll video some more. Okay, so I wanted to show you what we're seeing. I'm going to sneeze. Probably going to sneeze again. It's okay. So we have made it to the top of Rocky Top, Tennessee, and it is so awesome. This is payback for all those days like Albert Mountain and Shuck Stack, where we didn't get to climb the tower, and all the places where we climbed and we had a view, but we were in the clouds and it was all socked in. And this makes it all worth it. We are right here on top of Rocky Top, Tennessee, and I am not going to sing to you because there's people nearby, but the song is in my head, I promise you. This is absolutely a phenomenal, phenomenal view. This is why we came out here in the woods, and wow, all of this, it makes it so worth it. All the climbing and the rocks and everything makes it so worth it. God is good. I also want to show you this right here. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit. All right, that is our target tomorrow. That is the highest point on the Appalachian Trail, and it's in Tennessee. That is Clingman's Dome, and we are headed that way tomorrow. Wow, this is just absolutely breathtaking. Wow, can things even get any better? We are ridge walking from Rocky Top over to Thunderhead. Came across this little bald grassy area. This is just phenomenal. This day, it's going to be a long day of hiking, but oh, holy cow, it's so worth it. So worth it today because we got to see and see and see forever. It is amazing the beauty that is on this planet. I wish that you guys could be up here with us because that view from the top of Rocky Top was just absolutely breathtaking. It is absolutely phenomenal. It's nice and warm here today, and the trail has not been too hard. We had some uphills obviously to get on top of Rocky Top, and the trail was a bit rocky, but what would you expect? But now we're just kind of meandering across the top of this. This is absolutely gorgeous. Boy, am I blind. I didn't even stop to think about turning around right here, but that's where we just came from. That is the peak of Rocky Top, Tennessee, and we just kind of ridge walked over to here. But this view is just unbelievable. I think it's safe to say we are on top of Thunderhead Mountain, and I was kind of zooming in out here. You can see off in the distance, I hope that's not in our path, but there's definitely a little fire going on out there somewhere. And hopefully that's not ahead of us, or if it is, I hope that they will contain it before we get there. Tomorrow, that's where we're headed. That's the top of Clingman's Dome, I've been told. I haven't peak findered it, but I trust them because they said they were using peak finder. And that's going to be an awesome climb, but we'll see a whole bunch of stuff from there too. But so far this day has been absolutely, absolutely awesome. I'm going to show you this rock here. I can't really make out all that is written on it. Let me back out just a tad. There's, I don't know whether this is graffiti or whether this is actually something of significance. I'm going to have to take some pictures of it and try to doctor them and look carefully at them. But anyway, we're top of Thunderhead and moving on. Climbing still, I think we very well likely were not at the top of Thundercloud a little while ago. But I wanted to pause and show you the snow and ice here on the trail as we get higher up. I guess it's left over from a couple of days ago when we had a bit of a sleet storm where we were. And who knows what it did here. But we're walking up to the top of something anyway. All right, so I think maybe we are now officially at the top of, oh fiddle, I forgot Thunderhead Mountain. We got the USGS marker right here. Elevation 5,527 feet. So that's kind of where we are. And tomorrow we're going to be well over 6,000 feet, when we keep traveling down the trail headed towards Klingman's Dome. So we'll talk to you soon. Hey, well, I was not expecting this. Hopefully it does not go on for long. But this is just the remnants of the snow from a few days ago on the trail. And I'm not going to video for but just a second so that I can pay attention to what I'm doing and not bust my tail coming off of this thing. We'll see what happens. See how he traverses this one. Because I had to crawl. Oh, that's absolutely not fair. Oh, that is wholly not fair. Woo! We're looking at again, we've got absolutely phenomenal views today. This is the part that we weren't planning on. It's walking in snow. This is just the residual stuff on the dark side of the mountain that doesn't get sunlight, I guess. But there have been some places where it has been very dicey at times, but it's still beautiful nonetheless. It's been a really great day of hiking. This is a place where I'm going to have to go up the hill a little bit, and I'm not going to do it one-handed, so we'll get back in a little while. This day has been absolutely festooned with views. I have not checked my peak finder to find out what they all are, but boy, this is a nice little walk we're doing today. We finally, well, maybe got out of the snow. There's a little bit more there, but it doesn't look like it's on the trail, so we'll see what happens. Sometimes when you're hiking, you just pause to take a breath and look around and you say, wow, out loud. Seriously, wow. This has just been the most phenomenal day. The weather, we could not ask for any better weather. I hope it's like this tomorrow on top of Klingman's Dome, but holy cow, this is why we're out here. And these views, oh, I just wish you could be here with us to see them. They are absolutely the most marvelous things. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Appalachian Trail. I'll have to figure out how we're going to get up that, but probably won't be nearly as hard as it looks, but I thought I would share it with you. Some days you're just not on a nice level path, and that's okay. We'll get to the top, hopefully without falling. It amazed me, some of the biggest trees that have blown down around here are lost limbs. Of course, I've heard the wind blowing around up here, and I know that we haven't seen really anything of all that Mother Nature has in store. But we just walked up on this. It's really kind of interesting to see this one tree falling on top of the others. Of course, the limbs falling out of the one there on top, down there below. It just, it's a sight. You don't tire of seeing these kinds of things out here. We are probably about a mile or a little bit better than that from a shelter, but it has been a magnanimous day. Well, there's a big word for a math teacher. The views that we've seen today just defy description. And I know that I took some pictures for you and some video, and the actual being here just pales in the comparison, I'm sure, to all that you see in the videos and in the pictures. It was just a phenomenal day, and hopefully we'll have a pretty easy trek the rest of the way on in. Rest well tonight. We have a shorter day tomorrow, I think, unless we can find a little bit of a way to stretch it just a tad so that we don't have quite such a big Monday, because I think we are supposed to get a little bit of rain on Monday, and I'd really rather not, even though we're going into town Monday. I think right now we've scheduled about a 10-mile trek, and even though it's downhill, it's not going to be a lot of fun. So if we can find a way to stretch out tomorrow and make it a little bit longer, we'll see. We'll reevaluate when we get to the top of Klingman's, because I suspect that that's going to be a tail kicker, but we'll see how we get along. Well, I'm going to do one more video tonight. It is rapidly approaching hiker midnight. I think we're not expecting temperatures to drop below freezing tonight, but folks are getting situated and settled in their bags and gearing up. So this is Derrick Knob Shelter. It's very similar to a lot of the other ones there that we've seen in the Smokies, and that'll be our resting place for this evening. Got some nice views back this way. Looks like the sun's going to go down here in not too long from now, and probably provide a pretty nice little view for us if we are up for it. I'm probably not going to be up for it. We had a 9-mile day, which was a long one for us, but the terrain was pretty tough too in some places. We did get over to the top of Rocky Top, and that was pretty awesome. The views were just well, you saw them, and as I said previously, the video that I took, it can't even begin to show you what we saw. You can see up the hill here, we got some food bags hanging, and folks are settling in for the night, so I'm going to go do the same thing, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.